Have you ever met a stupid woodworker who believes their expensive, shitty design furniture is far superior to your $15 IKEA table? Well, I have. And I've also met them online. They seem to be everywhere. So I thought it was about time to silence them once and for all by proving IKEA is far superior to some overrated woodworker. Oh, I can't believe it. All right, let's prove that all woodworkers are overrated by recreating one of IKEA's cheapest but most hated tables, the lack table. By doing so, hopefully I'll show you the genius of its design and its complexity to build, thus proving that all woodworkers are a bunch of whining, overrated What? Did you just say that? Way to make enemies, you dickhead!
I'm kidding, man.
Yeah, dude, not cool. Yeah, all right, boys, settle down. Right, to get started, I've come up with a plan. Right, first things first, we cut this bad boy open and unveil its genius design. Then we're going to look at the materials used and go to the hardware store to buy the materials we need. Note, why don't they have hammers on top of the hardware stores? That would be so much cooler. Then we're going to recreate this IKEA table to every detail, making sure we stick our tongue out. Then, once it's finished, I'll be standing on top of it, giving the Swedish "you're welcome" gesture. Right, let's get on with it. All right, first things first, let's cut this bad boy open and unveil its genius design and quality. And voila! Not quite what I was expecting. All right, let's just do the legs. Hollow. I wasn't expecting that. Right, initially I was pretty disappointed by opening this up and finding a bunch of air. I think I know why they call it a lack table, because it lacks wood. I'm kidding, man. Like I said, initially I was pretty disappointed, but then I realized how bloody brilliant this is. I mean, why use more wood than you have to? Inside the simple chipboard frame, there was simply just cardboard, but it was shaped in the form of a honeycomb, which was remarkably strong. And the strength of these legs was remarkable considering they were hollow. This thing unfortunately was made up of things that you don't normally have lying around. Luckily for me, I'm a hoarder of offcuts and had this piece of OBS just lying around along with another piece of flooring when I built my wife's stupid annex. All I needed to buy was the 2mm MDF. But there lay the problem. None of my local hardware stores stocked anything like that. Not even the fancy expensive green ones. I was faced with reality. I was going to have to talk with a woodworker. Luckily for me, in another life, I was a furniture maker. So I went to visit an old colleague. We just talked shit about IKEA for hours. And then I eventually asked him if he had some 2mm MDF. He had this piece of scrap that he was using as a template. Somehow I ended up paying 7 times the price. He said it was Scandinavian rustic. Alright, time to prove a $15 IKEA table is far superior. To start, they had to build our inner frame using our OSB. Oh, the edge banding! Yeah, I'd forgotten the edge banding. So I jumped online to have a quick look what I could find, but no one in Norway sold 50mm white edge banding. And the stuff from overseas was going to take way too long. So I had to find another solution. I had it. I was just going to use the 2mm MDF and miter the edges. But the MDF bounced around on the table saw and making a jig would have been too woodworkery. So I tried the track saw. And that didn't work either. But then I came up with a good idea. The router. The router was going to help me cut the perfect 45-degree angle. But according to Woodworkers, you had to cut it at 44.9 to get a sharp edge. Like I was going to listen to them. It looked pretty sharp to me. Up next was the cardboard honeycomb. Now I assume IKEA used child slave labor to make this stuff, so I tried to get a kit of my own. Hey kid, you want some candy? But kids these days are just so lazy. I was gonna have to do this myself. To make the honeycomb, I had to cut a buttload of strips, then glue them all together with alternate spacing. The last step was just to trim it all up to size, and hey presto, we had a honeycomb. The final part of assembly was to glue in the honeycomb and then just simply glue on the top. All right, now this is drying. It's time to make these hollow legs. My back! Oh, I'm too old for this shit. Yeah, and so is everyone else. How about you get on with the video, you dickhead? Oh, shut up, Hank. Hank might have had a point. It's time to get on with this project and prove woodworkers are overrated. Because I had to deviate slightly how this was built, I'm going to have to paint this thing. So I'm going to prep it for paint, and once it's painted, get on with assembly. But unfortunately, I have the patience of a 4-year-old, and I didn't think I needed any primer. Then all of a sudden, the black marker pen started leaking through the white paint. So I thought I'd just add some more. And then I had runs all over the place.
I can't believe the fuck's sake.
But then I saw the original legs were actually wrapped in some kind of thin vinyl. I had vinyl. So I ended up just covering the whole thing in vinyl, and it looked perfect. But as I looked at my perfect table, feeling like I had proved all woodworkers were overrated, I couldn't help but feel a little sad. It just lacked soul. Yeah, it's cheap, and its design is genius, but perhaps I was wrong. Maybe that's what woodworkers bring to the table, that just IKEA doesn't. Soul and character.
I told you so. Shut up.